Welcome to Fight Faction.
Right. I'm going to go straight into the Deontay Wilder because he's all over the place, both, in the news and probably in his headspace. He has got a fight date on May the 18th, and it looks like it's going to be against Dominic Brazil. But you just said before we aired that you got some news on Deontay Wilder as well.
No, I said I had news on Dillian Whyte. Apparently he's...
Dillian Whyte, right.
Yeah, so do you want to stick with Deontay Wilder for now?
Yeah, but it kind of tie into each other because I was just going to say he's going to fight Dominic Brazil on May the 18th. It's a fight that I can kind of look forward to, which then leaves Dillian Whyte out in limbo. And if he's WBC mandatory, because this is what he's asked for this week, and you're saying that with the news that you just told me, which if you want to say now.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte has been having talks with ESPN, and it could be a deal there. But as we know, his fight-by-fight basis with Eddie Hearn, it's not up in the air because it's not set in stone, is it? So you can negotiate back and forth. But obviously, watch the space to see if he does sign.
Well, it's a bit of a dumb move if he does, because after Wilder fights Dominic Brazil, he's in line for Deontay Wilder. So by signing with DAZN, is just another hurdle, and he's just going to have to get into the pecking order against Joshua again, and that's something that's forced him to do this now, is because he's in the pecking order. He's actually knocking at the door now. He should fight for a title by the end of the year if he stays away from DAZN.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd love to see Wilder and Whyte. I'd love to see that fight. I'd rather see that fight than any other fight with Wilder.
Yeah, but there's also the fact is, like, the WBC haven't really forced Wilder to fight these people, have he? So what if he can't get the fight, regardless?
I don't know. I think this time, with the kind of like the shit show, if you want to say, that they ordered the fight between Fury and Wilder, and then they ordered an interim fight. Had they not done that, then I'd agree with you, right? But because they've done that, I think that kind of guarantees Wilder and now Whyte the first crack at Wilder after Brazil has a go.
Yeah, but also it's a good position if he stays where he is as well, because, well, or if he goes with anybody, because if you look at his rankings, he's also number one by the WBO. So if they went to purse bids and ESPN won and Joshua decides, no, I'll get rid of the belt, then Whyte gets to fight the next contender, which is Tom Schwartz, who won last weekend.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's that card I wanted to come back to later on.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of sense then. Yeah, I was just like tunnel vision for the WBC there. I didn't realize he had options with other belts.
Yeah. So if he's mandatory for two belts, that's obviously two different places he can go in.
What do you think about Dominic Brazil's chances against Deontay Wilder?
Well, he fights a bit wild as well. Dominic Brazil, I've seen him in a brawl a few fights back. So he's been on the floor and off the floor to win, sort of thing. I think he fought Izugabi Ugano, and that was a war, 5 rounds. Brazil was down in round 4, got up to win in round 5. So,
is he capable of following the blueprint set by Tyson Fury? Is he that type of fighter, do you think? Can he sustain a game plan for 12 rounds of boxing?
Judging by that fight I mentioned, you say no, but you can. But look at his last 2 fights; he's been more disciplined against like Carlos Negro and Eric Molina, 8 and 9 rounds respectively. So it does suggest if he goes late and then he has a brawl with Wilder, he'll have a
Because Wilder's about to be toppled. You can make cases that he almost lost his last 2 fights. He was in dire straits in both those fights. Is that a guy who's found his level? Because in the last 2 fights, he stepped up a level. He fought Ortiz, he fought Fury, and his punching power got him out of jail twice. But his boxing skills got him in trouble twice.
Yeah, so, and if you look at Luis Ortiz, I think his age had a big question in that fight, isn't it?
I think Brazil's a live underdog.
Yeah, I do. And you don't know if it could be late. That's going to be a really interesting fight. Looking forward to that one.
Yes, I mean, this is why I like the heavyweight division the way it is. You know, we're getting matchups, and we're not just trying to find the one best one. I mean, if Wilder gets to Brazil and then gets White, that's a hell of a year for the WBC heavyweight title. And then you got Joshua Miller and whoever else comes after that, they'll be exciting. And I think a year from now we're gonna look back at Fury's deal, and we're gonna wonder he's gonna be the odd one out. I think because he's gonna have 2 12-round ball fests.
That's a harsh statement there, yeah, but yeah, I can see that. But
Yeah,
obviously, you've got to go for the money first. I think.
Yeah, I don't begrudge him what he's doing, but I just think his style of fighting is really boring, and he's gonna be. No one wants Fury to be the undisputed champion because we've got another couple of years of Klitschko. Then that kind of reign.
I suppose you could say Klitschko the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the Deontay Wilder story. So that's on May the 18th,
But have you noticed? I noticed one more thing about online on YouTube. There's a lot of people in the US and some in Britain. They shouting from the roofs, "Why can't Deontay Wilder get a deal? And he should be getting paid more." Well, to be honest, none of our business is how much he gets paid. We just there to watch a fight.
But you know why he's being ignored, or don't know? Because the people paid to make these decisions see how fragile his reign is. So they're not going to go invest in these vast sums of money. Like they obviously see him as the third best because no one's making a run for him.
Yeah.
He can barely draw in his own state. So I just think, 2 years from now, Deontay Wilder's got 3 defeats.
I don't understand why he's not followed so much in the US. If he's a big puncher, you automatically assume.
Yeah.
But I think the American public are not easily fooled.
No.
I think they were fooled once or twice in the past, but now it's like, okay, you get a lot of knockouts, but against who? That's the first question they're going to ask.
Yeah. It's no one believes in him, do they? You got a small core fan base he has, but on the wider scale, there's no belief in him.
No.
You always... Yeah, he can punch, but what happens when he steps up? Well, we've seen the last 2 fights what's happened when he steps up. He gets outboxed and he's on the verge of defeat twice.
Very true, but he's still undefeated and still got some good fights for the future.
All right, thank you for listening, guys. We'll be back same time next week, and I don't know if we'll be back this Sunday because there's nothing much to mop up, is there?
Okay. Have a good week.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.